Yo, it's your boy DEEZY, man. You already know it's not about the setback, it's about the get back. I want to appreciate everyone that's became a member, that subscribed to the channel, and that watches the channel. I appreciate y'all. If you haven't already, hit the notification bell. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we go live. I appreciate all of y'all that rock with me, and I hope y'all continue to rock with me. What's poppin'? SBGB TV fam, what's cracking? You know, I appreciate all of y'all that rock with SBGB TV, and that's a fact. Yeah, if you haven't already smashed the like button, smash that. Hit that like button. You know, we appreciate you. We in the building. Yeah. And we going hard in the paint. Non-stop. I hope everyone is having a great morning. You know. It's almost the end of 2025. We on our way into 2026. This year has been good. You know, it's been growth. It's been a lot of learning. And we working on more things. So I feel good. You know, I hope everybody else feels good as well. You know, no matter what you're going through, keep your eyes forward and pushing forward, and things gotta get better. You know, this is how I see it, because we all gonna have ups and downs, but it's, are you keeping on the keeping on? You know, but shout out to y'all, man. You know, we're gonna talk about a few different things today. And we're gonna have some open discussion. You know, I feel good, more autopilot today. You know, I've been trying to share things to multiple sites. You know, that's what I've been working on, trying to like share things to multiple sites so that I can get active everywhere. You know, make sure y'all follow us on Instagram, TikTok, X. We on YouTube, Facebook. We on Spotify, Kick, Twitch, Rumble. You know, we working. We trying, you know, keep going. You know, so I've been trying to get active with everything, honestly. You know, so I have been, you know, not going live as fast because I'm trying to get active with everything. You know your boy, one man show. You know, I gotta pioneer all this stuff. So, you know, I appreciate everybody that be rocking with me, regardless. You know what I mean? Facts. But make sure you smash that like button and hit that subscribe button. Yeah. So we're gonna start off here with this one here with Diddy. I appreciate y'all. And smash that like button and hit that subscribe button, man. Shout out to all y'all that rock with SBGB TV. And that's a fact.
Former NBA player Sebastian Telfair is recounting his prison stint alongside Sean Diddy Combs. Telfair was just released after serving time for a probation violation related to a healthcare fraud conviction. He told TMZ, quote, "I couldn't imagine how Diddy felt, but Diddy's holding it down. He's doing what he's got to do. Diddy was living a rock star life, so I'm glad he's going to get the time to just relax. Diddy's in good spirits. He's still Diddy." Combs is serving out a sentence of a little more than 4 years on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. But his defense team is now working to get him released. So let's bring in Mercedes Colwin, criminal defense attorney. Mercedes, really good to see you. It's been a while. As part of the argument that Diddy's attorneys are making, they are saying, quote, and we'll put this up, defendants typically get sentenced to less than 15 months for these offenses. Even when coercion, which the jury didn't find here, is involved, he sits in prison today serving a 50-month sentence because the district judge acted as a 13th juror. Where do you think this goes?
Karlissa, always great to be on with you. Let's be very frank about this case. You can't unsee what you saw, you can't unhear what you heard, and you can't unremember what you read. And it's clear that that judge took certain things in consideration that were part of the evidence, and it is permitted under the Mann Act. That is the psychological harm that took place on these victims. We're talking about Cassie Ventura and the other victim who actually testified as Jane. And those two recounted the horrors of what they went through under this type of influence, this type of sexual exploitation. So it's going to be a real stretch. And do I applaud the defense's attorney? But by the way, these are great defense attorneys. They're gifted. It's clear that they've got a great bench. And they're trying all they can to try to overturn those 50 months. But it's going to be a very hard process for them to get to that. Because under the Mann Act, the judge can take into consideration the harm that was inflicted upon those victims. And so therefore, they might be arguing, and not only are they arguing that there was this departure from what should have been imposed on Sean Combs, they're also arguing, which is a real stretch, that these freak-offs and these hotel sexual encounters were really amateur pornography that were done, and this was during the consenting adults, it was consensual. So they're not only making this argument that there was this departure by the judge and should have been into consideration. The second part is the fact that there's also a First Amendment violation, because really this is really a freedom of expression. These individuals were consenting.
Now, you know, one thing that I see here that, you know, they're going to look at, like, Diddy is trying to downplay what happened. You know, even though the situation with Cassie, him beating her, happened years ago, they did admit that as evidence to show, like, the character and the, you know, the things that he was doing. So, you know, when his lawyers is trying to, like, downplay it, they're going to be looking at that as well. And the best thing, you know, that he can do is try to appeal so he can look towards situations coming up in the future. You know, when you appeal and, you know, you putting modifications and you're doing different things to try to change whatever the verdict is, you know, it takes time before you get a decision. So it's something to look forward to. We all see that. But accepting ownership is important, you know, and that's one thing that I had to understand. Even if you might not felt like you did what they convicted you of, when you get convicted of something, though, they want you to accept the ownership, you know, because if they feel like you don't accept the ownership, they really try to, like, give you more because they want to make an example, because they feel like you didn't accept the ownership. And even if you do accept it, sometimes they might act like you didn't accept ownership for the situation.
But at the core issue is whether these women actually consented to that. And the prosecution that will be arguing against this appeal, they'll say Sean Combs used his fame, his fortune, and his wealth to sexually exploit these women and transfer them from state to state. That's the evidence that came in. That's the evidence that compelled that jury to convict Sean Combs. It's going to be a real stretch to get to overturn that sentencing, especially when you look at the guidelines on itself under the Mann Act. It's between 70 and 80 months. The judge gave 50 months here. So this type of these arguments, frankly, if I looked at my crystal ball, it's going to fail.
You know, Mercedes, and as I was reading this, first of all, Let's start with the First Amendment argument here, because to me, just as a layperson, sounded like some stretch. Because we recorded it and it became entertainment,
right.
That is now a First Amendment situation that they're dealing with. I mean, from a legal standpoint, what do you think?
That's such a great question, Lisa, because that's really at the core of it. That would mean that anybody taking their phones, if they're literally capturing a crime taking place between a victim and an abuser, you're saying that that's somehow amateur photography and that should be permitted under the First Amendment? No, I mean, the arguments are a stretch. I applaud them for trying to do so. It's obvious that they're trying to get this at all odds to try to get this overturned. But at the end of the day, you have a jury that said that what took place between Cassie Ventura, Jane, and Sean Combs and all of the other enablers, the participants in these freak-offs, these hotel stays, this sexual exploitation, was sexual exploitation, and it was non-consensual. So the fact that you have non-consensual acts that are being memorialized doesn't make it suddenly be First Amendment and therefore should be protected activity. It's a stretch, and frankly, it will, and in my humble opinion, will likely fail.
Okay, and I also thought it was interesting that his attorneys are also going after the Mann Act itself, an attempt to kind of to weaken this law. What should we be considering when we look at that?
Well, it's interesting because the Mann Act is you rarely hear about it, read about it. Rarely those are the charges, but the prosecution, the prosecutors really took into consideration all of the acts that could fall into lesser included crimes. They were obviously looking for the really big crimes, sex trafficking being one of the highest crimes that they were trying to seek a conviction on. That failed. So these lesser included crimes are ones that had to be considered. Those are the ones that the jury obviously felt was enough evidence to convict Sean Combs on. And yes, they're trying to attack but it's on the books. This law is still good law. It has not been overturned. It is not deemed unconstitutional. Those laws are permitted to be used and charged against individuals who the prosecutors in their discretion really do feel that a crime has taken place. So it's on the books. Can't say it's unconstitutional. The argument, if his defense team really feels that there's a problem with the Mann Act, you can certainly lobby against that act and have it rendered unconstitutional. But it's historically sound, it's constitutional, nothing's been overturned. It's still good law on the books, and prosecutors can use it under their discretion.
Yeah, and notable that the Bureau of Prisons has said with good behavior, Diddy could get out in about 2.5 years. Mercedes Coleman, so good to see you. Thank you.
Exactly.
Hey, listen. When you go to trial, though, right, and you fight your case in trial, you got appealing rights. So it is Diddy's right to appeal his conviction. You know, a lot of people are scared to go to trial. They end up taking a plea and they don't want to fight. Diddy did fight his case. You know, even though he got found guilty of a lesser charge than the RICO, he got an opportunity to appeal it. And anybody in this situation would appeal the conviction. You know, that's his life. You know, he got to stand on the decisions he's made. And I'm sure he's hoping that, you know, he can get it overturned. And who knows? It could happen. It can happen. Either way, you know, it's up to the courts. But anybody, you know, that go to trial, they got a right to appeal their conviction. Yeah. So Diddy put himself in this situation. This is the process. You know, you think that you run the world because you got money? Nah. Them people run the world. You know, the system is designed to grab you up when they want you. You know, they make a new law all the time. You know, they attach you to laws that they want to attach you to, you know, and people are breaking the law all the time. It's just when they want you, they're going to associate you with different laws. They knew Diddy was doing these things that he was doing for a long time. It's just Diddy had to sit down. You know, brought him back to reality. You don't run nothing. People got to understand that. You don't run anything. You do what they allow you to do. When they shut you down, they shut you down. Yeah, so Diddy put himself in that situation. You know what I mean? Make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. And yeah, he ain't got life though. So hopefully he'll wake up, do things different. If not, they got bed space for you. That's one thing people got to understand. They got bed space. They never gonna run out. They'll move you around if it get filled up somewhere. So maybe he learned, you know, or maybe he might think that he gonna come home and get revenge. If he got that mind state, he in trouble. Straight up. Yeah. Some things you gotta let go. For real, for real. Some things you gotta be willing to say, all right, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna let that go. It was a bad situation I went through in my life. Let me move forward. Put that in the past and keep it going. You know, because he still got paper. So, you know, but sometimes too, people need a lesson because Diddy was out of control. He might needed this lesson. You know, could have got worse. You know, he needed the lesson to teach you. You know, they belt the ass, brought him back to reality. Sit him in there with some other people that, you know, in his mind, he would have said, man, I'd never be around these jokers. And they sit you in there, you got to sit there and eat that food with everybody else. When you got that paper, it's crazy. Bring you back to reality. Straight up. Yeah, he learned the hard way though. He definitely learned the hard way. You know, one thing about people is a lot of people can't learn the easy way, what you telling them. Because I'm sure people been told Diddy, man, you got to slow down, bro. Take it easy. Slow down. You doing too much. You doing too much. Slow down. He probably said, man, I got this. You know, talking slick to people. But he had to learn the hard way, man. Straight up. He had to learn the hard way. For sure. He had to learn the hard way. He said, I still think he's not ready again for society. Hey, if he ain't ready and he get out here and get the plan and think it's a game on probation, oh yeah, you ain't gonna be able to buy your way out of nothing because you know well, them probation officers, they gonna do their job. You know, ain't nobody losing their job. That's what people gotta understand too. Ain't nobody losing their job because you talking about paying them out of something. So it's like now people are thinking a little better, honestly, because you taking a short payout from somebody to sweep something under the rug and you lose your job, your career for that. Both of y'all still going to end up getting caught. It's not worth it at all. I don't think it's worth it at all. You know, I think it's real senseless to do certain things. So yeah, hopefully he'll say, hold up, I made a mistake. And then he had time to clear his mind. You know, hopefully he ain't been in there trying to get high. You know, some people be in jail, they be trying to get high all the time. And things is going through the prison. Straight up. Yeah. All types of narcotics go through the prisons. So hopefully he ain't in there trying to indulge, you know, altering your brain when you need that time to clear out, you know. You literally need that time to clear out. When you clear out, it give you some clarity. You know, you ain't got no toxins in your body and it's like you can sit there and really reflect, and you don't have that daily running responsibility. When you sitting in jail, you sitting there, it's like a lot of clarity. You know, everybody can't come to you for something. You know, you get that peace of mind too. It's a stressful situation, yes, but you do get a different sense of peace if you've been running the street hard. If you've been out there running the street hard, it's like a instant stop. Straight up, all right, slow down. Chill, relax. For real. He said, and that shit would probably follow you for the rest of your life. Shit get real. Yeah, shout out to all y'all, man. Facts. Let's see here. Now, I came across this situation here, right? And what I say is, if you in a situation, right, don't be in a rush to involve your people in the situation. Because in this situation here, right, this girl involved her father in a situation, and it cost him dearly. She was dealing with a situation and he stepped up, but he wasn't expecting what was going to happen when he stepped up. But I want y'all to check this one out right here.
Family in Fulton County preparing to celebrate their first Christmas without their father, after police say he was shot and killed outside of a fast food restaurant earlier this month. Channel 2's Michael Seiden is live in Palmetto tonight. And Michael, you learned this father, he was simply trying to make sure that his daughter was safe.
Yeah, the victim's 19-year-old daughter worked here. She told me that her father was simply doing what any loving dad would do, stepping in to make sure his daughter was okay when her co-worker shot and killed him in the parking lot of this Bojangles.
Oh, I still haven't processed it yet. It doesn't seem real.
For the first time in her life, 19-year-old Amari Goodman is preparing for Christmas without her father. 43-year-old Dominique Goodman, who was shot and killed earlier this month in the parking lot of this Bojangles in Palmetto.
I don't even want to celebrate Christmas because it doesn't feel right.
Amari says she was working her shift at Bojangles when she says her manager, Maurice Evans, began harassing her, a situation that escalated into an argument. Amari says she called her father for help. Police say Evans was told to go home, but instead he waited in the parking lot with a gun until Amari's father arrived.
He isn't a man. Any man would have stood up to another man, had a conversation with them about their daughter.
Tonight, Amari's remembering her father as an incredible man who led by example, an ambitious dad of 5 with a baby girl on the way.
My dad was a great man, a very hardworking man.
For family friend and attorney Robert Williams Jr., this case is personal.
Mr. Goodman was my friend. He worked with me doing intakes and things like that in my law office. And that's why this case really touched my heart.
Williams says since the December 7th tragedy, he and his team have launched their own investigation into his friend's accused killer.
There's evidence that this gentleman was using drugs during his shift at work at Bojangles.
And tonight, Maurice Evans remains behind bars without bond. He's charged with murder and aggravated assault. As for this grieving family, as you can imagine, they've got a lot of bills, a lot of things going on in their lives. They've set up a GoFundMe page. If you'd like to help them out, we've posted all the details on our website, WSBTV.com. We're live in Palmetto. Michael Seiden.
Listen, this is what I want to say to this right here, right? She involved her father. She was supposed to call 911. Straight up. She called her dad for a situation that she was supposed to call the cops. Her dad showed up trying to protect her daughter and lost his life. No. Listen, I say this straight up. You got to think, them days were as though you gonna pull up and think that it's just gonna be you pull up and handle something. They long gone. You don't know what somebody got. You don't know what they got. And then if you come there with that fire in your hand, ready to do something, and you do something, you gonna go to jail. And your daughter gonna say, I called my dad up there, and my dad came up there, and he did this to such and such. The judge ain't gonna give you no leniency, because the judge gonna say, you should have called the police. This is what people gotta understand. She cost her father his life, and the father wasn't thinking straight and lost his life. Straight up. Dude went to jail, yeah. Dude get life in jail, yeah. But if you would have called the police, they would have handled the situation. This is what people got to understand. All that street mentality, you done involved your dad in a situation at your job. It's a paper trail there. This shit would have went left on the account of your dad. He was going to go to jail. So whoever took it to the extent where as though somebody lost their life, if your dad did it or whoever, they was going to go to jail regardless. And she was going to tell what happened. Just how she's talking about it on the news, she was going to tell what happened either way. Hey, listen, I'm not doing it. Straight up, I'm not doing it. Call 911. Don't screw up my life because of your mouth and whatever you going through. Don't do it. I'm not coming. No, call the police. 911 to handle that. This is what they there for. Then put himself in a situation now that he could have avoided. Lost his life though. Hey, listen, man, you got to be smart. Straight up. You got to be smart and know when to get involved. I'm not getting involved in nobody else's business. I don't care if it's a child or whatever. I'm not getting in there and losing my life with nobody or go to jail because they gonna tell. They gonna say something. If you as the pop, you come through and rock something, first thing she gonna say is my dad did it. It ain't gonna be like, oh, she ain't gonna tell. She gonna say exactly what happened. They gonna go back to the phone records and see when she called you. Everything gonna be recorded. You know, people got to get out of that mind state right there. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You got to get out of that mind state. If you are in that mind state, it's gonna happen to you too. Straight up. You don't get into certain things like that. You deal with them accordingly. That is what the police is for. Showing up thinking that you gonna muscle somebody, thinking that you gonna bully something because, oh, this is my daughter. Nah, hold on. What happened up there? Where? At your job? What's his name? All right, call the police. Then you come after the police get there. What's going on? But thinking what he thought he was going to pull up on the dude and get tough with him or something? Man, them days is over. They over. Straight up. Them days is long gone. And people got to understand that. It don't go that way no more, man. People will do something to you. If he was probably telling her, man, your pop come up here, I'm a pop him. And she probably didn't even relay the message to her dad. Hey, dad, he said he gonna shoot you if you come up here. She probably just saying, yo, I'm gonna get my dad. And now she's sitting there still living her life with a little smirk on her face. Dad came to the rescue and lost his life. Man, you gotta be mindful. Call 911. This is what I'm saying. If you got a problem, a cousin, brother, child, sister, whatever, Call 911. I'm not coming to save nobody. I'm not putting my life in danger for nobody. It makes no sense because when it get messy, they're going to call 911 anyway. So what does it look like that I come there, if I'm going to get grimy and get messy, they're going to call the police anyway? Why not call the police first before I mess up my life or lose my life? Come on, man. I smarten up. Crazy. She's sitting there still living her life. Dad gone because of something you got in at work. How does that sound? You make it through all these adversities in life and you get in something at work and I lose my life? Yeah, all right. Man, we got to think better. Straight up. It's important. Critical thinking. Knowing when to hold them, when to fold them. Yeah. In that situation there, definitely would have told her to call the police. Did you tell the police? Did you tell the manager? Did you take the proper precaution? So she wanted her dad to come up there and do something to the guy. She might have been one of them girls that said, oh, my dad gonna do this. My dad gonna do that. Yeah, my dad do this. And dude like, oh, your dad do what? Oh, I'm gonna medevac your dad. Straight up. Done got fired at the job. Feel like he ain't got nothing to lose. He waiting on the last check and all he got is a strap. Oh, your dad come up here. I'm gonna send him straight up. And she probably like, watch when my dad come. You put your dad in that situation. You know, you put your dad in that situation, man. Gotta be mindful. It's crazy. You know, it's kind of funny how she not crying or nothing. She's not crying or nothing. She had a smirk on her face. You know, especially at a business establishment. Probably got cameras and all that. Definitely. You already know. You know what I'm saying? You said people may grieve differently. Nah, I ain't going for that one, LBB. You got your dad up there to get shot. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you should be balling. You know what I mean? You should be balling. Your dad came up there to fight for you and lost his life. I ain't coming. Just tell you like that. Figure it out. Call 911. You know what I'm saying? I ain't coming at all. Shit. Not me. You know what I mean? I don't care who say what. I ain't risking my life. I got one life. I ain't coming at all. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what to do. I mean, they going to be there ASAP. You feel threatened at work? Call them. I'm going to go put my life on the line. And then you doing whatever you doing. Shit. Not me. Not me. You know what I mean? Shit. I ain't doing nothing to nobody. I had to learn the hard way. Straight up. I had to learn the hard way. Called me to getting something I ain't had nothing to do with. I get over there and snap, and they call the police on me. I experienced it already. That's why I'm real like passionate about this. You know what I mean? Because I done already experienced. They call me for a situation. I come over there, deal with the situation. Next thing you know, I'm in jail. And everybody in the house turned on me. I said, damn, I was in my bed sleeping. I wasn't bothering nobody. Y'all called me out my bed. I ain't bothering nobody. I come over there thinking I'm handling something. And then next thing you know, the whole house turned on me. Shit. This is why I'm telling y'all from my experience. Somebody call you for a situation, tell them call 911. I ain't coming. Shit. You hear me? Damn right. I had to learn the hard way. Cost me $9,000 to get out. Shit. Everybody else, they laughing and shit. Everybody's a joke. Okay. All right. Watch this. I bet they could never call me again in life for nothing. Shit. But, you know, I'm just saying it from my perspective and my experiences. Somebody doing something to you, don't call your family people. Call 911. Don't put your family members in jeopardy because of something you going through. That's what the police is for. Call them. Because if the dad would have came there and popped the bull, the police was coming anyway. Damn. She talking about deal with him like a man. What? Come on, man. What do you know about another man dealing with a man like a man? What do you know? It don't work like that today. It get messy out there. You don't know what somebody's brain is saying. They could be saying the next person that tried me, I'ma pop them. That literally could be on their brain. And you saying my dad gonna do something to you, all right, this the next person. Let him come up here playing. I'm gonna sit here and wait on him. I'm gonna wait on him. That shit went left because of something you got into at work. Yeah, shit. Not me though. I'm just, that's just me talking from my experiences. You know what I mean? When I be on here talking, y'all, no cap, I be talking from my experience. Real shit. I ain't experienced everything, but I've experienced a whole lot of shit. So when I be on here talking, I be talking from experience. That's why I think I do this shit the way I do it. Because my experiences is like deep. And it's like so many different instances that I done been through different shit. And it's like, man, I'm not getting in nobody's shit. I don't need to be around a whole bunch of people. And I understand when I'm by myself, I ain't got no problems. As soon as I'm around a whole bunch of people, something going on, I'm the one. It's like, damn, everybody else's name be forgotten. My name be remembered. Shit be crazy. Like, how the fuck, out of all these people, they know my name and don't nobody else's name be known. Now I'm fighting the situation because I done inserted myself. The best thing to do is stay away from people. Yeah, smash that like button and hit that subscribe button. That's just how I see it. She cost her dad his life. That nigga should have stayed home. Yeah, should have stayed his ass home. Straight up. Yeah, he should have stayed his ass. He should have stayed his ass right in the house. He said, man, I ain't coming nowhere at all. Should have stayed his ass straight in the house. I don't care what you got going on. I ain't coming. You know what I mean? I ain't coming. Call the police. They gonna come. Mess my whole life up for your ass. I don't care who you is. Well, it's your daughter. I don't give a fuck. I ain't messing my life up for nobody. Then everybody else living their damn life. I'm somewhere dead somewhere or in jail. That shit ain't happening with me. You know what I mean? To those who do it, power to you. Not me. Straight up. I experienced that shit already. Shit's over. Yeah. All right. So we got this situation here, right? A cop, ex-military, he tweaked out somewhere along the line, and him and his wife was going through something, and his wife separated from him, filed, some domestic stuff on him, whereas though he couldn't, I guess, had no contact with her, right? And it went left, and he did something crazy. And I really think it was going to go further than it did go if the police didn't come there. And I want y'all to check this one out, man. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good, boss, and yourself?
This is U.S. Marine veteran Eric Banks. Moments after this body cam footage, officers would find his horrifying secret stuffed inside his bedroom wall.
It might dim on.
What's up? 95. 95. I looked in there and saw the boy laying there on his spot. Drug him out where he is now. And did what good. All right. Are you good?
Eric, who is also an active officer for Baltimore PD, thinks he can use his experience to cover up his vile murder. What follows is amongst the most disturbing collections of criminal case files ever uploaded to YouTube.
Stop! I'm buckling. What are you doing? My life away, though. I don't care. Stop! What are you doing?
Who is this person? Dad. And then he also told me that Daddy made him and Tristan go in the bathroom and cover their eyes. Strangle him.
On July 7th in Millersville, Maryland, 2 officers arrive at the home of Eric Banks Jr. after his wife reported that their 15-year-old son, Dason, was potentially missing. The report was relatively standard for them, but the reality awaiting them is more horrifying than they could have imagined.
Son, not mine. Just laying it out.
Officers report hearing loud bangs from the upstairs of the home. However, nobody comes to answer the door. After multiple minutes of waiting, an out-of-breath Eric finally greets the officers.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good, boss. And yourself?
I'm doing good. At a Porter one. I'm out with him. What's going on today, man?
You're supposed to be serving peace protector order.
Supposed to be serving it on you or on
both of us?
Okay.
The judge just ordered us to stay away from each other.
Okay.
Sit down, buddy. Sit down.
Do you all have some sort of like court order agreement on custody or something?
My oldest, I know he ran out the back door somewhere. All his stuff by the back door.
He ran out?
What's going on, boss? I know you get DJ. I know you're getting tired of seeing us.
Where's DJ?
She called him and he went out the back door.
He's not here.
No. You want to come in?
Just let you know you're being audited.
Oh, hey, I know. I see y'all got the body cam.
Yeah.
She said he was like,
"You have a phone?"
Huh? I took my phones back.
Okay.
Yeah. So all the phones are on my plan. Separating everything.
You have no idea where you just let a 15-year-old walk out of your house with all his bags packed.
No, his bag's at the back door. I literally told him, wait for your mom to get here. The police supposed to come here to serve her a peace protector order. The judge told her to call you guys before she comes here. I'm not trying to get in trouble.
I understand.
Eric and his wife Latrice had both individually filed a protective order against each other, making it illegal to speak to one another without a police escort. However, since Eric is not the biological father of Dason, Latrice had custodial rights to him, which is why he was packing his belongings as he and Latrice were preparing to leave the residence. Dason's disappearance on the very day he and his mom were supposed to move out makes the situation even more unusual. So officers continue speaking with Eric, hoping to understand the family dynamic and gather any clues that might point to where Dason is. But what Eric says next only raises their suspicions even further.
So, she's supposed to call you to come meet y'all?
You have no idea where DJ is.
Honestly, bro, no.
With no phone or anything.
You can check the ADT. It shows when he ran out the door.
I believe you, but I mean,
I'm not gonna fight. I'm not gonna do that.
Listen, man, it's a 15-year-old boy. Having a phone probably would have been, if he's walking out of the house, probably would have been a good idea to leave him with, and you can work out those kinks later.
But see, this is the thing.
This is getting messy, man.
Yeah, I tried to tell him. I said, sit here, wait for your mom to get here. I went upstairs. Before I can come downstairs, he's already going out the back door. So I guess she coordinated, because she's somewhere in the area, I'm presuming.
Yeah.
So she pretty much coordinated with him to come out there.
Okay. All right, hang tight.
All right.
Sitting beside Eric are his 2 sons, 5-year-old Evan Banks and 3-year-old Tristan Banks. Officers didn't know it at the time, but these 2 would play a pivotal role in uncovering the horrifying scene that just happened inside their home. But for now, Officer Sutton goes back to his patrol vehicle to run a registration. He identifies the suspect as 34-year-old Eric Banks Jr., an officer for the Baltimore Police Department. He's been an active officer since 2018 and also carries 10 years of service in the United States Marine Corps. After speaking with neighbors of Eric, who provided minimal additional information, officers would confront Eric once again, this time sternly, to figure out what was going on. It's here that Eric would explain his alibi, one he had come up with just minutes ago.
We found out about the whole situation. His mom.
That's neither here nor there.
But this is what I'm trying to tell you. Me and him sitting at the table. He cried to me yesterday. He said he don't want it. He don't want this separation. Like he knows we'll be separated before. He said he's tired of it. He's tired of feeling like he has to choose sides. He's 15. He's a teenager. He knows where he don't want to be. He's like, I don't want to be in separate homes. That. And we said that to him. I said, DJ, it's nothing really we could do. I'm not going to change you. I love you, care for you. We had a whole deep heart-to-heart conversation. Today we went to court. The judge awarded him, and I called him. I said, DJ, I guess your mom told the judge you wanted to go with her, and you're going to Arizona. He's like, what? And I was like, well, start packing your bags because you're going with Arizona with your mom. Unfortunately, I guess you're not coming back here. And that was just that. She called him. They had a conversation. I said, what did your mom say? She on the way to come pick you up. He said, yeah, but she's supposed to come here. I said, well, we're going to wait because before she come here and there's some type of altercation, there needs to be police here. They can escort her, grab her whatever she needs to grab, and go about this piece. Next thing you know, I went upstairs. I come out.
So do you think did he leave here because he didn't want to go with his mom either?
That could be.
He could be like hiding out at a friend's house. I mean, yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, in my opinion, I think that probably is the best because if he told her, he's somewhere.
The text messages from her, I have food for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounded like he wanted to go be with his mom.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
All right. Just put the bags inside for now. And
okay.
We'll try to figure it out.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
Officers would spend another 15 minutes canvassing the area in hopes of finding Dayson, but would again come up clueless. So they decide to try calling Dayson's mother, Latrice, but are unable to get a hold of her either. So in a desperate attempt to find a relevant lead, they decide to ask Eric if he'd voluntarily consent to a search inside the home, hoping Dayson may be hiding inside. No one expected that this simple request would soon alter both their and Eric's lives forever.
I just want to make sure he's out of the house.
That's fine. I'll do it with you then, since we're here.
Hey, Buck, can I throw one so make sure he's not hiding? Yep.
Yeah, so they about to walk in. If he's about to walk in,
this will be over.
He got the house. All right.
That's your room. The one with the bunk bed right here.
Yeah. This is the kids' room.
DJ.
This is my room right here. Oh, yeah, he's told us he's not hiding.
In Officer Adams' report of the incident, he notes that at this point in their home search, Eric's demeanor had changed. He advised Eric to relax and let them freely search the home. They proceed to make their way to the third floor of the home, the floor which stores Eric's chilling secret. But before we get to that, if you want to start eating better this new year, HelloFresh makes it easy with recipes that...
Yeah, this is crazy right here.
Where my safe is. Yeah. So this is where my guns go. Okay. You got your little light on your side?
Yes, I do.
You got a light back? Back up. Okay.
It might dim on you. You need 2 batteries.
What's up?
95.
All right. What's up, bro? 95.
Inside the hole in Eric's bedroom lies Dayson's deceased body, already cold to the touch. Eric forgot to fully close the hole before meeting with the officers. The gruesome discovery would leave the 2 officers in shock. They try to keep their composure while transporting Eric to a patrol vehicle.
What's up? Take him right now.
All right, where are we
Starting at it. Everyone start now. Okay. DJ. What's up? What happened?
Let's go to the car, all right?
Yeah, let's go to the car.
No problem.
All right, yes. Oh, and the phone, sir.
Here, let me move one thing out of your way.
Oh, great.
All right, just see for me.
All right.
While Eric is being detained, Officer Voss attempts life-saving measures on Dayson, noting that his condition appeared consistent with an unresponsive individual. He also notes that Dayson was shirtless and that his jeans were heavily soaked with moisture from an unknown source. Outside the home, Eric is temporarily placed in the patrol vehicle, but within moments, the situation begins to spiral out of the officer's control.
Stay seated. Yeah, we're in custody.
All right, yeah.
I need you to stay seated.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to be all right, go ahead. Can I just kiss my boys real quick?
No, I need you just in the car. Right? Look, listen.
Yeah, I got you, bro. Just let me kiss my boys.
Stay in the car.
Bro, just let me kiss my boys.
Stay in the car.
I'm just saying, like, just let me kiss my boys real quick, bro. All right, I'm coming in the car. I'm going in the car. I'm not doing all that.
I'm not starting on bathroom. I'm not going like that. After you just here, I'm gonna stand there. Listen, just stand up, turn around. Don't do anything. I'm not. Stay in the car. Stay in the car. Stay up against the car. Okay. All right, now get back in. Hey, bro, I'm not going. Stop running. What are you doing? I just want to kiss my boy, bro. Come on. Just let me kiss my boy. Get back in the car. All right, come on. Come on. The mom is parking at the corner of Hilltop. Stay in there. You're not coming out no matter what. All right, bro.
Without additional units on scene, Officer Sutton struggles to keep Eric restrained. Sutton attempts to secure Eric's handcuffs using a double lock, a mechanism that prevents cuffs from tightening or being manipulated. However, Eric uses his police experience to exploit this, and while his previous attempts at evasion have failed, he'd make one more, final, far more violent attempt to get away.
I just threw my life away.
Just stop. What are you doing?
I just threw my life away, bro.
Will you stop?
Okay.
Stop unbuckling.
I
What are
just
you
threw
doing?
my life away, though.
I don't care. Hey, listen. Stop.
Just choke.
Stop. What are you doing?
Just choke me.
Choke. Get back in the car.
Just choke me. Just choke me. Just choke me.
Adam 4. Look to Adam 1. Can you come back out here, please? Hey, get out of my gun.
Look, just choke me. Just choke me.
Adam 4 is trying to grab a gun. Adam 4 is trying to grab a gun. Stop.
Get in the car, Walker.
Get in the car.
Come in here.
Burn him out. Burn him out.
Burn him out.
Burn him out. On the ground.
Correct. 4448.
3 times doing that.
Where's...
Stop.
I can't stop.
Yes, you can.
It's on my wrist. And my hands going numb.
Are you not going to stop?
Yeah. My hands going numb.
All right. Turn him on. Stop. But hold on.
I told you broke it. It's numb.
All right. Stay where you're at. Stay here.
I am staying here, but I told you, bro.
All right, I'm moving your legs. All right, take a deep breath. All right, listen. You're way going around last to make it worse.
I know.
All right. Well, we're done. We're done here.
I want you to not done.
We're gonna take you to the hospital. All right. Well, let's just not wrestle anymore. It's just the hottest shit today.
I know.
You sweating? I'm sweating. Can we be done?
I want to be bro. Like,
all right. Well, let's go to the hospital. Talk about it. We don't need to wrestle on the ground. Is that helping anything?
No, it's not.
All right. Okay.
Eric attempts to unholster Officer Sutton's service weapon, eventually managing to loosen it and nearly knocking it to the ground. Fortunately, Eric's handcuffs prevented him from causing any further harm. As the chaotic scene finally settles, officers briefly discuss the frantic events that just unfolded.
I go up to Subway to meet her, go in to make sure he didn't go to Subway in this indication. Come back here, I said, let me just check the house. They started getting real weird. I'm like, well, if you just stay back, he's a dog in City 5. Started to get real weird. I'm like, no, I can check the house. You stay back. You stay back. You stay back. You stay back. I go up and wait off. He goes, he wouldn't be up here. There's an attic thing. I'm done with screw in it. He looked in there and saw the boy laying there. I was trying to drug him out where he is now and did what I could. I immediately, as soon as I saw the boys lay with 95 things, they get him out here and he asked for more units to start the CPR. Drug him down, he started CPR. Okay.
All right. Are you good? You're good. You're not hurt.
No, I'm hurt. Should have done that if I'd have just did that first. You may not have been hurt. I'm gonna take the whole block right to see that. Hey, take him. Come on. Do a CPR. Sorry.
Where's the 10-7?
1448 inside. Yeah, like apparently, well, we went upstairs to check the gun sleep area. What's up? There's like a gun sleep area, and my partner looked in there. 95. I don't know what's going on. And then when we took it to my car, I gave him an opportunity because I needed to double lock his stuff, and then he unbuckled himself, went out and grabbed.
EMS attempted to perform CPR on Dason, but it was too late. Dason was declared deceased shortly after by EMS. What officers uncovered with Dason was only the beginning. As the investigation deepens, Eric's children would reveal further secrets, painting an even darker picture of the reality behind closed doors. For now, the decision is made to take Eric, his children, and his ex-wife Latrice to the police station. Police reports state that while Eric is being transported, he struck his head multiple times against the cage window bar, causing a welt to his head and damage to the patrol vehicle. Despite this, everyone would eventually make it to the station, each separated into their own individual rooms, awaiting intense interrogation. Eric would be left alone to hopefully calm down and collect his thoughts. Meanwhile, detectives speak with both Latrice and her child Evan, hoping to collect more information that can be used when speaking with their main suspect. They start with Latrice, asking her what kind of person Deson was. At this point, detectives are considering the possibility that he and Eric may have gotten into a fight that somehow escalated into tragedy. But what Latrice describes denies that theory completely, and makes Deson's case even more heartbreaking.
Can you sit a little bit closer over here?
Yeah.
There's a lot of specific questions that I wanted to talk to you about. Can you describe DJ? Was he an argumentative person? Was he a quiet person?
So Deson was more of a quiet person until he got to know you, but he was always mannered. He talked to a lot of adults, but he never was disrespectful or any of that. I had teachers from his elementary, the principal, middle school, they all showed up for my son. He was that type of child. You know when teachers come.
Would you say he was a sweet boy?
He was very sweet and always willing to help. That was one of the things across the board. Always willing to help.
In the loft, in the crawl space in the loft, what was normally kept in there?
Nothing.
Safes?
Nothing.
Was that ever left open?
No.
It was always screwed?
It was always closed.
Okay.
Because I don't like it. Like, it freaked me out. There is a light switch in there.
Okay.
So I was like, where's that light coming from? And I turned the light switch off. But I don't know, maybe it was him.
So let's talk about that. You called me and you said that you saw him, you viewed him at the funeral home. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was before he was involved because I wanted to see him.
Right. And you saw new bruises.
Yes.
Where did you see new bruises?
On his nose. Like that circular dark mark on his upper nose.
Mm-hmm.
His lip looked busted also. Mm-hmm. Like that wasn't there. And then his eyes were like purple. I don't like.
They were puffy and purple.
Yeah. It looked to me like he was in a fight. And my son doesn't fight.
Deson's autopsy report ruled his cause of death as asphyxiation, which, in combination with the bruises and marks on his face, implied he was likely strangled to death.
I knew it. And he was my baby. So I knew it. I still have those feelings that, no, I'm not happy with. Because to me, it doesn't say I did it, but it says there's enough evidence to say I did it. So, let's just say you did it then.
Latrice makes it clear she believes Eric is responsible, even though she didn't witness the incident herself. But her son Evan, seated just 3 doors down in his own interview room, has information that could take the investigation even further.
How are you? Good. Good. You said your name is Evan, is that correct? Do you know how to spell your name? You can go ahead and write it down. 7. Okay, nice handwriting. And how old are you?
7.
7? You want to write 7 for me? Yes. So I don't forget. Sometimes I forget.
Notice the harsh contrast between interview rooms. Evan is sitting in the department's safety room, a space created to provide comfort and reduce stress for victims and young children involved in sensitive cases. His interviewer, Miwa, is a forensic interviewer from Maryland, trained specifically to speak with children and family members connected to a criminal investigation. And because Evan is only 7 years old, you'll notice a drastic difference in how his interview is conducted.
My job is to talk to kids and families all the time, and today I get to talk to you. Mm-hmm. And we talk about a lot of different things in this room, and this is called the safe room because anything we talk about is always safe, and you're not in any trouble. I'm just here to listen to you and talk to you. Okay.
Miwa explains to Evan that everything is being recorded and that he is not in trouble, but rather just there to help him out. She spends 15 minutes talking about movies and more of Evan's interests to help him get more comfortable before discussing the day of Dason's murder.
And Evan, who do you live with?
My mom.
Your mom?
And Tristan.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
I live with DJ.
Mm-hmm.
And then my dad.
Okay. And do you know what you're here to talk about today?
Mm-mm.
No? So, tell me a little bit about your family.
Tristan, he likes to fight and play and steal toys from others. I like the color, and then I also like Kids Bob and Tristan.
And you said you also live with the DJ, is that right?
Uh-huh. And my mom and Tristan.
So DJ, how old is DJ?
15.
15? Tell me about DJ.
DJ like going in the water, tickling me. Can't really remember all the stuff he used to do. But he loved playing Roblox games.
Tell me about the last time you saw DJ.
My mom wasn't at the house.
Tell me who was at the house.
Dad, and then DJ,
Mm-hmm.
and then me. DJ was going to Arizona with Mommy, and then Daddy was waiting at the door with DJ. DJ put his bags in the basement, and then I don't remember what happened next. That's all I remember.
Okay.
Miwa would tell Evan to draw the last time he saw Dason, and he'd draw the staircase leading to the home's loft. The same staircase Eric has dragged Dason's body up.
And so, who is this person?
That was DJ.
That was DJ? Where was Dad?
Right here.
Oh, okay. So Dad was up here and then DJ was right there? Okay. Where did they go after?
They never went anywhere. They were just waiting at the steps.
Oh, they were waiting at the steps? Who was he waiting for? Or what was he waiting for?
And he was bringing to Mom King. The DJ.
Did that happen? Not yet. Was there anything that you worried about on that day?
No.
I wonder if there's anything that you were scared about that day.
I wasn't scared.
Evan struggles to reveal the details of the events he saw that day, likely due to the discomfort of speaking with a stranger in a police station. But the information he gave his mother on the day of the incident provides far clearer insight into the disturbing events he saw.
You said that one of your children said something to you? Evan, and what did Evan say?
That he saw Daddy bringing DJ upstairs. And I said, where were you? And he said he was in the living room. I just didn't want to pry too much, but then I said, oh, was DJ sleeping? He said, no, he wasn't snoring. And then I said, was he moving? And he was just like, no. And then he also told me that Daddy made him and Tristan go in the bathroom and cover their eyes.
Okay.
But this was before. This was when the police first knocked at the door.
Okay.
Evan didn't say anything about the knock because he told him to go in the bathroom first. So I'm a little confused of like the order. So I don't know if that's maybe when he was going to let the police in. But Evan did say he saw that. And he was in the living room because he told me he was watching Loki.
In addition to these grim details, Latrice would go on to explain how Eric's life had begun to collapse all in synchrony. Due to the protective peace order Latrice had filed, Eric was suspended from the Baltimore Police Department the very same day of Dason's death. He had just separated from his wife, was about to lose his children, and was now left without a job. Latrice also explained that the peace order she filed was not her first attempt to separate herself from Eric. Months prior, Latrice filed her first peace protective order, writing, "I am in fear for my life and well-being because Eric Banks keeps trying to control, follow, and emotionally abuse myself and my sons." The order was denied, however, and it wasn't until months later that her second attempt was granted. It was clear Eric's life was falling apart leading up to Dason's death. Eric had hidden his body, lied to officers regarding his whereabouts, and had a violent outburst once the body was discovered. It'd be hard to assume that he wasn't directly implicated in Dayson's death. But evidence alone wouldn't be nearly enough to get him to confess. After all, he was a police officer of 10 years and knew how the criminal justice system worked just as well as any interrogator working against him. But unfortunately for Eric, the interrogation he was about to undergo would crack even the most well-trained of suspects. Eric is placed into Anne Arundel County Interview Room 2B. This room was designed for priority matters, exclusive to high-profile cases. Because Eric had attempted to attack an officer earlier in the day, he's been handcuffed to the table to restrict movement. Eric is left alone for multiple hours as the detectives prepare for his interrogation. While waiting, he can be seen glancing around the room multiple times, likely searching for a camera. What Eric didn't know is Interview Room 2B has a small camera placed in an unusual location, which Eric never managed to spot. The primary investigator assigned to this case is Detective Louis Adrian. His prior service in the United States military likely factored into the department's strategic choice to have him conduct the interview. This shared background enables Adrian to establish rapport with Eric, a key component in the upcoming interaction.
So, why we're here. We want to talk about what happened, why it happened, and anything surrounding that whole situation. But as well as all of us, that we have to go through Miranda with you. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to go through Miranda first of all, and then I'll start getting all the other information, okay?
After reading Eric his rights, the detectives would spend nearly an hour connecting with Eric and bonding over their shared military experience.
He's like, now you come in, you're in front. Okay. We go back in, we're about to go in the building, like, you're in front. She's like, but I thought you said you. Like, some people were made, to do certain things. And I said, I'm not made to be a front person. So I'm running the block then. And I remember it. So I was like, hey, whoever that officer is right there running, just keep going, because you're about to run right into him. And out of nowhere, these two guys just come out, pop out. And I'm like, okay, I got him. And they just fall over. And he was like, yeah, whoever that was running, you was moving and you just ran. And he was like, don't, because I was slowing down, like trying to look. He's like, no, keep going. And I'm running like, okay, you're going to tell me when?
This friendly conversation appeared to take Eric out of the tense mental state. It appeared that Eric sharing his favorite moments from the military gave him a sense of importance, like he had an identity he was proud of, or at least used to be. But that moment is short-lived, as he's quickly brought back to the reality of why he's sitting inside a police interrogation room.
So you spent 3 years, and you're still active in the Baltimore City Police Department.
Yes, sir.
So from what I hear, you're suspended?
No, I'm suspended now. Well, I'm suspended, yes.
Okay. Why? Can you tell me what's going on with that?
May 8th, I got a peace and protect order against my wife.
Okay.
You got one against her?
Yeah, I got one against her. Same day, she took the firearms out the house. She took the safe out of the home. Anne Arundel County did press charges.
They press charges against
her
for
taking the safe with the firearms. Yes, sir.
And were they your duty firearms?
Duty firearm. My whole full duty belt was in there.
Okay.
Firearm, taser, magazine, pouches, everything was in there. She turned around and went and got a peace order on me, saying that I was following her. But when she got it, that's when pretty much
they have to suspend.
Yeah, I have to get suspended. Her mom sent my mom something talking about I was following her. This and that. I'm like, how? I'm here at work. How you say I was following? I was like, there's no way. That's when we both ended up at the courthouse, and I was like, because I was like, I'm just putting a stop to this. So I let the clerk know. I was like, I don't know what's going on, but every time that my wife's trying to leave or something's trying to happen secretly, there's a peace order for me to get kicked out the house. And I was like, that shouldn't be. And that's when they brought us both in. So we both got seen by the judge, and he granted us a peace order for both of us to stay away from each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
When was that?
That was was it 2 days ago?
Okay.
Was it, no.
Monday?
Well, no, yesterday. It was just Tuesday, yeah.
So y'all met with the judge
Tuesday.
And you're still suspended up until this point?
Yeah, I'm still suspended.
So when, maybe it's the way Baltimore works and how slow they are and stuff. So you have the peace order, she gets one on you, and then it gets
denied.
It
has to go to IA. You have to do their full
They have to do that.
Yeah.
And so you're still suspended even though it's been cleared up?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
At this point, the detectives had no reason to assume Eric was lying. He'd been open and honest with them the entire time and seemed rather friendly. It isn't until they begin discussing the day of the incident that investigators realize Eric's perceived honesty had all been a calculated act.
So yesterday we go to court, get the peace and protective orders. They grant the whole motion. I mean, for us to stay away from each other. The two youngest boys supposed to stay with me. The oldest, he's going to Arizona with his mother. And she tells the judge, like, that's what you want to do, blah, something. So right after that, Carlin was like, hey, start packing your bags. You're going to be going with your mom. He's like, what? Why? I'm like, your mom said you wanted this. You're supposed to do, I guess, I don't know. I didn't have that conversation. Previously to that, me and him had literally just sat down on the table. Because I could tell that my son was like depressed and he was going through and that's really what our trip on the first was, like, just to try to get him away, get him out. We sat down at the table and I'm like, what's going on with you? How are you feeling about this? Where are you at with this? And he's like, honestly, I don't know. He's like, I hate it. I don't want to feel like I'm choosing sides. I just want to be left alone with everybody, because then it's like they're calling me, telling me this and this, this and that, and it's like I gotta keep certain things from you. He's like, I don't want to be a part of this. He's like, I'm tired. So I said, just go and start packing your bags. And he's like, okay. We wait. I get my paperwork. I come home, and on my way home, it's like I just felt like I was done. Like, you know what? Today's gonna be the day I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like my family's falling apart. I'm suspended from work. Possibly gonna lose my job. So it's like situation keeps going. It's like vendetta. And I even sent a text to say, I don't know why we feel like we have to be at war.
Right.
Like, we shouldn't have to be at war. It's like, if you out here lying to these guys, telling like you gotta guess what are you trying to move in with them? Telling them that you're living in hotels when you're not. You're staying with your mom. Like, what are you doing? So at this point, it's like, you know what? I'm just tired.
Yeah, you're tired of it.
Yeah,
it's a way out to get peace. I get. Yeah, a lot of people go through that, man.
Yeah, and it was like nothing. I felt like everything was just coming to an end, and I feel like that now. Like, honestly, everything was coming to an end. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. It is what it is.
So when you got home yesterday, was there anyone in the house?
Yes, it was. The son was in the house.
Okay.
Evan was in the house, and Tristan was in the house.
So you go in there and you're doing all this stuff, right?
I go in there and I go in there. I see him upstairs. Like, he got his bags packed. I had to go and take your stuff downstairs when your mom's come. And she called him. It's like, mom's calling. He was like, what do I say to her? I was like, tell her, just talk to her. Like, she called me, whatever. And he answers the phone and they have a conversation. And that's when I'm like, okay, what'd she say to you? She said she's gonna be in the area, just bring my stuff downstairs. I said, okay, cool. I said, so the police should be coming. And when they come, everything goes smoothly.
This is the moment where Eric's act begins. Notice how he begins looking blankly into the ceiling as he recounts critical moments. For the last hour, Eric hardly looked up to the ceiling once.
I go downstairs and I'm in the kitchen. I just made a big bowl of Gatorade. Not a big bowl, but a big picture of Gatorade. It's blue. It's probably still, I believe it's still on the counter. But like I said, you say you never went to the the bag of crushed up pills that I had was right there. The son came downstairs. He asked me something. He was like, what did he say? He came downstairs. He asked me something. And I can't remember his exact words, but he was like, asked me, was it about, I think it was a leave or something like that. I said to son, just wait. We're not gonna, like, because he was like, I don't want to go. He was just telling me that he didn't want to go and shit like that. I said, look, just wait. We're not going to talk about shit, because I'm going to take your brothers to your mom's house and I was coming back. I said, if your mom gets here with the police before I get back, unfortunately, you got to go with her. That's just the way it is. He's upstairs. I'm with Tristan. I told Tristan, I said, Tristan, go get your shoes. Tristan said, okay. So Tristan goes upstairs, he gets his shoes. And he comes, he's like, Daddy, what's wrong with DJ? I'm like, huh? So I go upstairs and DJ's in the bathroom, and he's in the tub. And that's when I seen him. I was like, what the fuck? That's why I pulled him out the tub. And as I'm pulling him out the tub, I laid him flat on his back on the floor. And then, at that time, I'm not sure, I think it was Evan or Tristan. He was like, Daddy, somebody at the door. And I'm just looking at my feet. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, what the fuck?
Eric makes his story clear. He had planned to end his life, but coincidentally, Dason had the same plan and did it first. It's an extremely complex alibi and only becomes more unlikely after Eric explains why Jason's body ended up hidden inside his bedroom.
So I go downstairs, I go to the front door, the officer's there.
Okay.
And I panicked. I was like, I don't know what the fuck to say.
He was going to take
So
everybody's.
he asked me, he was like, hey, what's going on? I start talking to him, telling him what's going on. What did he say? He said, so what's the situation? And I told him what the situation. And I was like, my wife, she's supposed to wait on y'all to come. Y'all supposed to be serving her with a peace of protective order. And whatnot. He's like, yeah, she's supposed to be picking up our son. And he was like, is she here? And at the time, he was upstairs on the floor, in the bathroom. When he said, was she here? In my mind, I was like, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
You panicked.
Yeah. Because it already looked bad. I already moved him. And I was like,
you got him out of the bath.
Yeah. And then when I got out of the bathtub, I asked the officer, and it's the most body on camera's on. You can see, I asked him, like, can I go in the house, use the bathroom real quick? I remember asking that. And he was like, no, just wait. Okay. Then the other officer show up. And then when he show up, he's asking, he was like, so, is the son here? Still the same thing. I should have said yes.
Yeah,
I knew
in a perfect world.
I knew my state of mind. My state of mind was to kill Eric.
Okay. Now let me ask you this: is that why? Because I did watch some of the footage when they went to loosen your handcuffs. You kind of got a little silly on them. You remember that?
Yeah.
What was you went for the officer's gun. What was up with that?
Well, before we get to that, when I first went back in the house, when the officer told me, the tall officer, he told me, he said, go get the son's phone.
Mm-hmm.
I ran upstairs. His phone was in the bathroom on the counter.
Okay.
So I run upstairs and I get the phone. Because wait, back up. Before I did that, I asked him, I said, can I go upstairs? Can I go in and use the bathroom? So I initially wanted to shut the door. He said, no, just wait. And then the other officer, he was like, well, go on. I need you to go grab the son's phone. I ran up, grab it. And I shut the bathroom door. I'm still nervous.
Which bathroom was it? Was it the one in the master or the small one?
No, the small one. The small one in the hallway. And I'm still shaking around. And then when I come back downstairs, I go out the door, I give him the phone, I'm still shaking in my hand, and everything's in my head saying, Eric, just say what you saw. But then in my other part of me, I'm like, my son just did this.
Right.
Objectively, Eric's story hits all the points. He has an excuse for almost every suspicious detail, even finding a way to explain why blood was found all over his house. The issue is that these details are simply too coincidental to ever sound believable. And even Eric knows this.
I don't know why. I just was like, I gotta move him. Picked him up, did the fireman carry, took him out of the bathroom, into the master bedroom, up the stairs. And I was like, because I know they're gonna want to come back in the house and search it. I was like, I'm gonna be cool. I'm fine with that. I was gonna let them search it, and I tucked them in. I tucked them in the area, and I left the thing open.
So when you say the area, you're talking like a
little crawl
space. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But getting back to when they came in to search the house, they went upstairs, and he seen the thing open. That's when the officer, when he asked, I panicked, and I was like, yeah, this is where I keep my safe, blah, 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 whatever. But the son was in there.
The son was in there. Okay.
And they put the handcuffs on me. I went back downstairs. And when they put me downstairs, I was like, life is over because it looks different. It's no matter what I say from this point, it looks like I'm a liar. It looks like I lied because I already lied twice. You asked me with the son in the house, I said no. You asked me, did I know where he went? I said, no, I think he ran out the back door or something. And, so it always looked bad because I'm already told you a lie. Even though in my head, it's like, you probably should just said the truth. You probably honestly should have left him where he was at.
Call police or down the fire department or whatever.
Yeah, call the police.
Well, that's perfect world. But sometimes
when I was already in, I was already in the mindset of Eric's gonna die today. I was in seeing that he was there, that he was in the tub, and he was like, tub was full of water. I was like, my son did this. No, I have to do it.
Okay.
The detectives decide to take a break and discuss what their next plans would be. At this point, they both know Eric is lying to their faces, so the goal for the rest of the interrogation will be to get Eric to admit to his lies and ultimately confess to the murder. To do this, they decide on Detective Adrian conducting the rest of the interrogation alone. Since one-on-one confrontation is generally considered to be more effective, Adrian would return with a clearly different demeanor from earlier. He's stern and wastes no time in asserting that his nice cop act is over.
Are you good? Do you need anything before we get started again?
No, I'm good.
Are you sure? All right. So Detective DePietro had to step aside just for a second. But what I wanted to do, like I told you, I wanted to come back and go back over some things with you. Okay. I actually want to go back and in detail just go through some of these steps.
Eric would recount his story exactly the same as before, claiming he simply found Dason dead and had nothing to do with it. And it seemed as though Detective Adrian had nothing concrete to combat Eric's lies. That was until he brought out Dason's autopsy report.
I'm going to tell you this. I know that you spent 10 years in the military, and you were in the Marines, weren't you?
Yes.
What's their whole thing in the Marines? Like, what do they always teach? Honor, integrity.
Honor, courage, commitment.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I don't see that from you right now based on what you're telling me.
Okay.
I think you're telling me something different.
Okay.
But I know you're a Marine.
Okay.
I know a lot of people that's Marines, man. And that's one thing that they would like, integrity, honor. No, you don't mess with that if you're a Marine.
Yes.
I know you want to tell me the truth. And you sitting here like giving me a story. You giving me what I want to hear just to sound good, but it's not it. That's not it.
Trust me, I'm not trying to sound good to you.
And I'm gonna tell you the other thing. And I'm gonna be straight up with you.
Yeah.
You keep talking about the autopsy. The autopsy said he was strangled.
Hell no.
The autopsy said he was strangled.
Hell no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. DJ was no strangled. Hell to the no.
I'm gonna just let it sink in and let you decide what you're gonna explain that to.
No, DJ wasn't strangled.
Well, then what happened? Tell me what happened.
No, DJ was not strangled. DJ, like I told you, DJ went downstairs, he came back upstairs, and DJ was in that tub. Like I said, when I came in that room, he was in the tub. When I grabbed him out, I grabbed him like this, and I pretty much put him in the fireman's car. When they left, I could drag them up to my room. If that's the case, I would have left him in there, and I would have said, or had them come in there to be like, but DJ wasn't no strangle. There was no way. DJ wasn't no strangle.
That's your boy. You had pride in him.
Yeah, but
you had pride in him. You were trying to help him out with his grades. You were getting him in STEM classes, and then this happened.
But you saying DJ was strangled? Nah.
Well, then tell me what happened. This didn't happen. I'm gonna tell you that right now. This didn't happen.
You saying he wasn't?
So no. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I believe that part, but I believe something else happened.
Note Eric's lack of emotion when hearing this information. No tears are shed, but rather an array of defensive rage. This, alongside the other countless red flags Eric is portraying, is a telltale sign for detectives that a suspect is lying.
You need to tell me the whole story.
Like I said, DJ, when I came in there, DJ was literally in that tub. There was no way I'm gonna sit there and strangle DJ, not harm Tristan. Why would I don't even have no ammo to want to strangle this boy. I have nothing against him to want to strangle him. Nothing.
Okay.
No anger in my heart, no nothing. Because then, like I said, if I was going to do that, why would I leave my other two boys? If I was going to do that, I would have took all of us out. DJ was not no strangle.
That was the mission.
And then what happened?
Cops came.
Tell me the story. We start from scratch. Tell me the story.
DJ was not no strangle.
Well, then tell me what happened. You're not telling me the truth. Tell me what happened.
Bro,
I'm right here standing right now. I'm giving you a chance right now.
You asked me to tell you that I strangled myself.
No, I didn't.
Eric understands the legal system well enough to avoid offering a direct confession when confronted. From investigators' perspective, he knows that admitting involvement is the worst thing he can possibly do. Well, besides not asking for an attorney. Regardless, it's going to take more than just a heated confrontation to make Eric crack. So Detective Adrian resorts to a completely different approach. Empathy.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the way this is going to be something you're going to have to live with for the rest of your life.
Yes, sir.
This is something you are going to have to think about every night before you close your eyes. And when you close your eyes, you're going to think about what you did to him. That's what you're going to think about. You're going to think about what you did to him. And it's going to haunt you for the rest of your life. Or what you can do is you can talk to me. You can tell me what really happened, and at least that load will be off your chest.
See, I'm telling you right now, there's no, like, you're telling me to say I strangled my son. I did not strangle my son. That's what you're asking. I understand you're trying to line with me and, you know, and show the compassion, trying to, like, but there's no me in strangling DJ at all.
Okay, so let's take strangle out.
There's no me strangling DJ.
We taking strangle out of the equation now.
Okay.
What happened?
I told you what happened.
We taking strangle out. Yes. What happened?
He was upstairs in that tub. DJ was literally in that tub.
You didn't put him there?
I did not put him there, no. DJ was physically in that tub already. When I came to that bathroom, DJ was in there.
Did you assist him at all?
No.
With anything?
No, I didn't assist him at all, but nothing. Nothing. I did not assist him getting in that bathroom. Did not assist him going in that bathroom. He was upstairs already. Like I said, when he went downstairs, he was downstairs for a good period of time. He was upstairs, and what's his name? I was down. Tristan was down. Tristan was trying to go what's his name with his shoe. I told him, and that's when Tristan said out of his mouth, "Daddy, what's wrong with DJ?" Tristan literally said that out of his mouth, and I went up there to check on him. I don't recall seeing him. Don't recall him removing no belt. I don't recall removing anything that could have been around his neck. I don't recall moving this shit.
So here's the thing, and I hate to frustrate you, and but I also have a job to do, and I also have to get down to the bottom of this. And when I walk through the door, and when I hear everything that happened, things don't add up. Things don't make sense.
Okay.
They don't make sense at all. If you would have done things different, if you would have been like, yes, my son, I just found my son in a tub, I helped him out, and told the officer, you know this. If you would have done it that way, it would have been different. But the fact that you didn't, now you're sitting here trying to explain yourself.
Well, I'm sitting here because the whole situation, I'm sitting here because I lied and said he wasn't in the house. I'm sitting here because I didn't tell the officer, like you say, it's straightforward what was going on.
That's 2 lies right there. How, like you said earlier, how are we supposed to believe you now?
Yeah, like I said.
So you telling me how am I supposed to strangle? How did I not assist him in getting in the tub and, I don't know, possibly drowning him? I don't know.
No.
I don't know. But
if I drown,
but here's the thing. All I know is that you keep lying.
No, bro.
You lied initially twice. How do I know you're not lying right now?
Because, like, I told you straightforward. I'll say, that's
why I'm straightforward,
but that's why I know
twice.
Bro, because that's why I said in the beginning, I said straightforward. There's nothing I can say. I say, I already know y'all done y'all homework, laid it all out on the table. I said, because there's nothing I can say that's because I already lied twice. I said he wasn't in home. I identified that. I messed that up because then I see my son is dead.
Okay. All right. Do you, I'm gonna leave you alone for a little bit to think about things, but do you want anything else to drink or anything to eat?
I'm good with the water and the chips.
Okay. Give me just a second, man.
Okay. All right.
You need anything else?
No, sir.
All right.
As the detective leaves, Eric scans the room thoroughly and finally notices the camera hidden inside room 2B. Moments after making eye contact with the camera, he lets out one last desperate act.
Strangle? I don't know.
Unfortunately, it'd be too late to act his way out of the murder. Eric's testimony was flimsy at best, and Detective Adrian decided he'd gotten enough to wrap the nearly 5-hour interview up. Shortly thereafter, Eric was booked into the Anne Arundel County Detention Center under charges of first-degree murder, second-degree murder, and child abuse resulting in death. At trial, Eric would quickly accept a plea deal to second-degree murder as well as attempting to disarm a police officer. And on October 4th, 2022, he was sentenced to 42 years in prison. If Eric serves his full sentence, he'll be released in 2064.
Hey, listen. He was going to take everybody out. That was the mission. The mission was to take everybody out. And them police officers got there to save the other kids. You know, he lost his wife, he lost his job. You know, he had a pending case. Everything was going in the opposite direction. You know, even though things would have got better for him, his mental was gone. And it's crazy that he did that to the child. It wasn't even his child. You know, the mom left her firstborn child with the stepdad. Wasn't even his dad. And the man took him out first. If you see somebody experiencing those type of behaviors, you got to take that shit serious. You know, it's some individuals that just ain't got it all. And you can't ignore that shit. She seen it, but she left the kid with her. You're supposed to take the kid with you. Go ahead and take him with you. All of them. No, nah. You know, I know she probably was going through something. She might not have had nowhere to stay, but nah, take him with you. Because now she got to live with that for the rest of her life, that you left your son with the stepdad and he took his life. Yeah, so man, you can't leave your kids around everybody, you know, and some people do it, leaving their kids around everybody that they deal with, especially when you know it's friction. Yeah, that's the first thing, you know, some of them weirdos think about them. Do something to your kid. Cop came just in time to save the other two kids. You know, he's talking about taking himself out. He should have took his damn self out. You know what I mean? You should have took your damn self out. Yeah, straight weirdo. Yeah, took your damn self out. That's all you should have did. You know, take damn boy. And it seemed like the kid was a good kid too. Like, damn, 15 years old, you took his whole entire life because the relationship didn't work out and you was domestic violence with your wife, messed up your job. Like, man, dude went too far, man. Straight up. Yeah. If it wasn't safe for her to be there, why would she leave her son behind? All three of her kids, her sons. Like, wow. Like, wild. Like, crazy. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, man. She definitely could have made a better decision than that. Facts. Smash that like button and hit that subscribe button. Yeah, she could have made a way better decision than that one. For sure. Yeah, she could have. Yeah, that was deep. Yeah, that was real deep. Yeah, that was real deep. Let's see. Yeah, that was deep. Oh, man. Let me see. Hold up. Let me see here. Hold up. Smash that like button. Let me see here. Smash that like button. Okay. Let me see here. Deontay Wilder. Yeah. When you take a woman in and she got kids, you know, you accept the kids as well, right? Deontay Wilder was on top of the world at one point, you know. He still got that bag, but you know, he was on top of the world. And I think, you know, some people that have that light when they fall off, whereas though they don't have that same light, they take it out on the people around them, right? So the wife, not the wife, the girlfriend, she left him and she went with an NFL player. I don't know how the relationship went, you know, because I wasn't around them, but you know, me understanding a little bit about life, you know, he could have been taking out his frustration on her as he started to lose the fights. And, you know, she felt like, I guess he might have been verbally abusing her allegedly or physically. So she got up out of there. But Deontay Wilder had put her son and her on the wheel. And the son told him, "You not my dad." You know, that's one thing, you know, is going to happen. If you take somebody else's kid in, they'll tell you, you ain't my dad. You know, so that's something that you got to understand. You know, you got to have that firsthand knowledge. Yo, when they get upset, they're going to tell you, you're not my dad. You know, so yeah, he took the child in as his own, and you know, she left. So I mean, I say it could have been either way. He fell off. She like, man, I'm getting up out of here. Or he could have been taking his frustration out on her when he started to lose them fights. And she got out of there. And she was a pretty thing too. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, she's a pretty thing too. You know, let's hear what he had to say though. You know, crushed him too. You know, crushed him. Let me see. Hold up.
Father, not just a daddy, but a father.
Right.
I went in so hard, bro. I went in so hard because I went in so hard to the point where I put them on my wheel. I had a meeting with my kids. I said, how y'all feel about scoot y'all over? I scoot over a little slide and let somebody else get a little bit up. Yeah. And you know, my kids are amazing. They're my best friends. And they was down with it. So I moved a little space over and added her son in. I'm like, you ain't even my son for real.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah, that has to take a toll.
I put her in my wheel as well too. Yeah. You was just my girlfriend. You ain't even my wife.
I hope that still ain't dead, man.
Yeah, man.
I hope that still ain't.
One time the son said, "You ain't my daddy." Now that's one thing you don't say to a man that ain't your daddy. Don't remind him that you ain't his daddy. You ain't. You know what I'm saying? Don't remind me that.
I know that, but you ain't got.
I done fed you, took you on all these trips, giving you a beautiful life.
Yeah.
I ain't your daddy. I put you on my wheel, bro. When he did that, bro, I ran to my lawyer to try to get that. You know what I mean? Because I felt like I was finna have a heart attack. Seriously, I took the role of being your son father, not just a daddy, but a father.
Right.
I went in so hard, bro.
Hey, listen. that happens. You know, that happens. Appreciate that super chat. It shows you it never was about him. It was all about the money. People got to understand that. People got to understand that. You know, I don't know when he met her, but at that level, it's like slim to find somebody that care about you for you, you know. And I think he thought that she loved him for him. Yeah, you know, and see where she went with an NFL player. You know, let me see. Hold on, let me see if I can find yeah, she went with an NFL player. Let me see. Oh, yeah, she went with an NFL player. Let me see. Yeah, she went with an NFL player. Until I break down. Yeah. Let me see here. Yeah, let me pull this up here. Hold up. Somebody put this up here.
But the sad reality is, fellas, your money.
Pretty thing.
Deontay Wilder. This man is a lover boy. You could tell who a man is just by the way he moves, just by the way he conducts himself. He's trying to look cute with his girl. And that tells me he is an emotional man. Here's the thing. There are some men out there who work hard just to bag a pretty woman. That's what their life is based on. I'm gonna work hard and I'm gonna be good at this or I'm gonna be good at that so I can make a lot of money so I could attract a pretty woman. And I made it. But the sad reality is, fellas, your money can't save you. Your money is only gonna make you delusional because you will start thinking that that woman is into you for who you are. And she's just into your money. She's just into what you can provide. That's the only reason why you got her. And that's why it don't pay to be a sucker for love. Now, Deontay Wilder fell in love with a bird. And you know what's so sad? And this is how you know he's not used to pulling pretty women. Because when a man is not used to pulling pretty women, he's going to save the prettiest woman that comes in his presence. The prettiest chick that comes into his life, he's going to save her. That's mine. That's my girl. Dudes tried to tell him, yo, bro, nah, shorty, she going. Mad dude smash. She ain't the one. Dudes tried to tell him. But when a man is in love, he ain't trying to hear that shit.
Now, what was going on with you and Wilder? I didn't see y'all back and forth. I was like, damn.
So, I mean, listen, one thing about me is, man, I am one of the realest you ever gonna meet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't pop unless I believe in it. But, you know, and I told him I wasn't gonna talk about it no more, but I just go quick skim about it.
Just quick.
You know, DJ Self from New York is like, you know, like a big bro.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm always in the strip club with him. You know, that's how I met most of my girlfriends in the strip club. You know? That lifestyle is retarded, but you know, he's addicted to it. So anyway, you know, I'm always hanging out with DJ Self, and you know, we go to a club one night, we all hanging out in VIP, and Shorty and another girl was there. At that time, her name, I know her as Telly. She's working as like a MD in Jersey, little small apartment, a humble girl, pretty, but you know, I did some homework on her. She used to date some ball player in LA from the Clippers and blah blah blah. So now she's in Jersey hanging out. Hanging out a few times, you know, had some fun, you know. Hang out a few times, you know, had some fun, you know. And then I was getting ready for a fight for kickboxing in Vegas. So we kind of disconnected. So I hit her up and we talked and she said, yo, I met somebody, and she sent me the pictures of motherfuckers got matching tattoos, LO and VE and her and or some shit like that. And I was kind of quick. I'm like, hey, congratulations, you met some rapper.
God bless you.
She said, laughing out loud, ain't no rapper. I said, all right, no problem. But I ain't paying no mind. I'm like, I'm not giving her no problem. Next thing I know, Deontay and her take it. I said, oh, how the fuck y'all met? I took it to our first boxing match in the casino out in New York.
Oh.
So I'm sitting there, I was like, fucking hilarious. So anyway, she was like, put a little funny shit up, I like it, not really paying no mind. So this is July 4th, Independence Day. I think it's like, I don't know, 2015, 16. Deontay calls me like, yo,
called you.
You know, I'm dealing with Telly now.
Okay.
He just won the belts. Whatever year he just won the belt from Stavern. It's a few months after that.
Okay, Stavern,
like,
okay.
And he was like, yo, you know, I'm talking to Telly now. I said, that's what's up. You know, we gonna do the thing. What you mean, bro? Like, I love her. I said, bro, that ain't the one.
Oh.
I'm like, bro, I'm like, yo, you the heavyweight champ now, bro. You can have any chick you want. That ain't it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? A country, but I guess you never seen no fine pussy like that. So he wiped it up.
Open that nose up, put the nostrils up in the air.
You know. So I was like, that ain't it, bro. I'm like, just be careful. And it's so funny, I ran a couple of his cousins few months after that in the Balkans, and a lot of his family didn't even get along with Shorty. And I said, bro, y'all think gonna be open for rude awakening sooner or later.
For sure.
You guys, you about to get got.
Always remember, one man's 2-year relationship is another man's one-night stand.
When a man is a sucker for love, he becomes delusional. So the last thing he wants to hear is the truth. This man was just trying to look out for him. Like, yo, don't do it. I was just having fun with her. I never had to wife her up or treat her special. I only showed her a fun time. That's not wifey, brother. But Deontay.
Hey, listen. If somebody tells you that, you got to listen to them. She might just be a fun girl. And it's okay. But don't you get caught up if she's a fun girl, if somebody's specifically telling you.
He was so in love that he got it tatted and he got a prego in a short space of time.
Them the most attractive women in the world. The ones that know, that's confident within themselves all the way around, especially know how to protect themselves. Women.
Y'all heard that, woman? Start boxing.
Women. Let's get it.
The thing about a bird is this, fellas. A bird is well calculated. When a bird finds a sucker, she's going to exploit him. And she understands how big her window is. So she understands, okay, I got to get in here and move fast. He's a boxer. We don't know how long his career going to last. He might have CTE. So a bird is already planning her escape, but she's going to make sure that she come up. And once she's in a good position, that's when she's going to leave.
TMZ reporting Telly has filed restraining order on Wilder.
Damn.
So Deontay Wilder's fiancée, Chantel Telly Swift, is accusing him of domestic abuse. She's been granted a restraining order against him, which means he has to stay 100 yards away from her, their daughter, and to sell or surrender his firearms. In the court documents she filed, she claims Wilder assaulted her at least 10 times, including choking her in front of their daughter and her son. He became unstable and emotionally abusive, which only got worse as his mental health was deteriorating due to his 2 losses to Tyson Fury, and escalated further, especially after his recent defeat to Joseph Parker.
Hey, listen, I did say that though. I said that, you know, when them people got that light and they start losing, they usually take it out on the closest person to them. And that could have been the case, that he started taking, you know, his frustrations out from losing on her. And what did you expect? She gonna get up out of there. But he might have took that situation too serious. You know, I think when you growing and building, you really got to be mindful. Are you ready to take on that responsibility? Because you might not be ready. You know, his craft was in front of him. You know, he tried to juggle 2 things at once, and maybe you can't handle that.
Documents say that the situation has got worse since April because he thinks she had an affair.
Now, this is what I mean when I say Sims are the most dangerous dudes on this planet. Because a simp is a man who can't control his emotions. Deontay Wilder, if you look at his entire boxing career, you could tell he is an emotional fighter. He's not skilled. He's not a skilled fighter. He relies on his passion and his emotions. That's why most of his wins is through knockouts. You can tell by the way he moves with women, he is an emotional dude. He thinks with his heart and not with his mind. So that's why this is not surprising. And when it comes to simps, a simp will do some of the most outrageous, craziest shit.
I took the role of being your son father.
Hey, listen, they will do some outrageous things. Appreciate that, JR. She definitely opportunist. Deontay still got more money than the average NFL player. Only the big stars make good money in the NFL. Sucker for love. Yeah, he was real tender. You know, he was real tender, man, and got caught out there. And from what it looks like, she played around with the athletes, entertainers. She was in that lane. She in the strip club meeting them. And, you know, she was a pretty yellow thing. And she knew how to work her way with him and got him.
Not just a daddy, but a father.
Right.
I went in so hard, bro. I went in so hard to the point where I put them on my wheel.
For every man, there's a woman. And for every dummy, there's a dummy.
Hey, yo, like, he really got to relax with that. Put her on his wheel. Like, take it easy. Damn. What are you rushing for that for? You know, they can come. Like, you put him on the wheel, you're doing too much, man. Yeah, you got to relax, man.
I said, how y'all feel if I scoot y'all over? I scoot over a little slide and let somebody else get a little bit up. Yeah. And, you know, my kids are amazing. They're my best friend. And they was down with it. So I moved a little space over and added her son in on my motherfucking wing. You ain't even my son for real.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah. That has to take a toll.
I put her in my wheel as well too. Yeah. You was just my girlfriend. You ain't even my wife.
What? And you got to be kidding me.
I hope that still ain't dead, man.
Yeah, man.
I hope that's still ain't.
Now, how can birds retire from being birds when every day a sucker is born? This right here is crazy. This man put a random chick he met on his will, not his wife. Some random broad that he met after he became successful, he put her on his will. How much of a sucker can you be? It didn't stop there. He put her son on his will as well. He put another man's seed, all because he was so in love with Shorty. He came to his kids. Yo, kids, y'all wouldn't mind if I put this woman's kid on my will, right? It's only going to take away a few dollars from y'all, but what? That is crazy, bro. And you know what's even more crazy?
He was doing too much.
He thought by him doing that, her son was going to love him like how he loves his daddy.
One time the son said, "You ain't my daddy." Now that's one thing you don't say to a man that ain't your daddy. Don't remind him that you ain't his daddy. You know what I'm saying? Don't remind me that. Man, they don't understand, man. Y'all don't fucking understand what we go through, man.
This is why it don't benefit a man to be emotional. A man should not navigate through life with his emotions. A man should use logic. A woman will always take advantage of an emotional man because women are emotional. They are more emotional than us. So they know how to play in to an emotional weak man emotions. They know exactly what to do to spark his emotions. And that's how they're going to control you. So once you see a man that is easily controlled by a woman that he thinks is pretty, that's just a man who is emotionally weak.
I mean, if anyone has, if one have dealt with betrayal, you understand the feeling of it. You understand the pain that comes behind it, especially when you've done stuff for so many people. You done took people to places where they never would have been without you in their lives or present at any given time. And then when they betray you, it's like a dagger in your heart.
Now, you will think after going through this situation, Deontay Wilder will learn his lesson. But to be honest with you, I don't think so, because this is his new chick. And like I said, I get it. Some men work hard in life to bag a pretty woman. And that's mainly men who never really had pretty women. But the problem is this.
Yeah.
In life, fellas, you got to be yourself, because the woman that you can attract without money is going to be the same woman that you can attract with money. However, if you are using your money and your clout to attract women, you will only attract birds. You got to understand that your money can't save you. Whoever you are without the money is the same person you should be with the money. But once you start using your money and clout to get women, you are not being yourself anymore. Now you are being delusional. Now you're going to start lying to yourself and start thinking that these pretty women want me for me, when the whole time she's just there to benefit off of you. Every time a man tries to save a bird, he will always ruin his career. You can't save a bird, man. And the more you try is the more damage you will be doing to yourself. Fellas, be wise out here, man, for real.
If you haven't, hey, listen, definitely be wise. You know, but I think experience is the best teacher. And I really think that, you know, people that get the experience when they got a lot of money, they take it the hardest, because you really getting the bloodsuckers of the bloodsuckers.
Yet, go get you some of that merch.
You hear me? You really getting the bloodsuckers of the bloodsuckers, for real. And they gonna get him every time. Yeah, you know. He think they care about it. Yeah, that's what it is. You know, and he probably, you know, a weirdo. Just being real, he probably a weirdo. So, you know, he think they care about him. They think about the money. They tolerating him because he got some paper, and they really don't like him. You know, they find somebody else they like later after they get whatever they get out of him. So yeah. They probably don't like him. Yeah, straight weirdo. Yeah, you gotta learn the hard way sometime though. For real. You gotta learn the hard way, man. Yeah, you gotta learn the hard way. Deontay Wilder. Shit happens, man. She done ran off on him. You know what I mean? She done ran off on him for real. They ran straight off on him. Let's see here. Yeah, she done ran off on him. Okay, let's see here. Let's check this one out right here, y'all. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. They done hit Tyler Perry with another suit. And it's like people in the industry, man, that reach these different levels. It's like they get so much money, the weirdo of them just come out every time. Like, I don't want that much money. I don't care. I don't want that much money. I don't know what it is, but it's like they get so much money that the weirdo just come out. It's like, damn, this was really them? Nah, I don't want that much money. Nah, not me. I don't want it, man. You know what I mean? I'm just being real, man. Let me live and do what I want to do. But it's like these jokers, they get so much money, they want a damn man. It's just crazy. Tyler Perry out here on some weird shit all across the world. You know, it's like we already knew he was like, you know, wrist broken, but these people is coming out saying all kinds of shit about it. You know what I mean? Let's hear what this guy got to say, man. You know, he was accused of the lawsuit as a new accuser, claims the essay and hush money. Tyler Perry was second in suit. Second lawsuit. New accuser. Ah, man. Hold on, man. Hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button. Let's see what this Joey said.
Everyone. Just checking in with you guys about the news that I mentioned a couple days ago. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about sexual assault and harassment and why the people stay silent. For a long time, guys, I didn't want to say anything, and I wanted to tell you guys why I didn't want to say anything. But when it happened to me, I felt ashamed. I was scared because of the judgment and the questions that people were going to start asking, almost like if they were going to blame me for just being there. Well, I felt all of that, guys, when a very big director, a very seriously powerful person that everybody knows, invited me over to his house to talk about roles and upcoming.
Hey, listen, you can't be going over these big director houses. It's like you get them there, they take you in the bathroom, they do a whole bunch of crazy stuff.
Things that he was writing. I was telling myself, like, man, like all of my dreams are coming true right now. Like my opportunities at my front door right now. So much excitement going through my body. And then, guys, it happens. You know, my boundaries were crossed. You feel like this person feels like they got power over you because of the situation and the opportunity that presented itself in front of you. And then and how fear can somewhat keep you quiet and keep you silent. Well, I stayed quiet for much too long. And I just want to say I'm really sorry, man, because if I would have spoken up sooner, I could have saved somebody that this probably happened to after me. I just want to say sorry for that, whoever that may be. It could have stopped with me if I would have said something, but I do apologize that he was writing. I was telling myself, like, man, like all of my dreams are coming true right now. Like my opportunities at my front door right now. So much excitement going through my body. And then, guys, it happens. Guys, and I'm speaking up now and getting it out there and talking about it, most importantly, then so be it. And I just want to apologize once again, guys, because I'm sorry I can't really talk about more than what I've talked about right now, but I will be giving you guys an update very soon about the whole situation that happened in detail. So stay tuned. And thank you guys for hearing me out. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, I gotta be real, right? He looked like he's sweet. He looked like he wanted to blow a kiss at the camera. I can't even lie, right? When he was signing out. But that doesn't mean he deserved to be essayed, right? Tyler Perry is weird, straight up. You know, we heard the other allegation, the other guy said he was inviting him over to the house, but this is what they be doing. Like, listen, why do I gotta come to the crib to do the business? Hold up. I'm starting to, they talk about come to the crib and do some business. Nah, meet me at the office. I ain't coming to the crib, and make sure all the staff is there too. You know what I mean? Hold up. Don't actually do nothing crazy. I think, you know, you got to have a certain persona, but these people that they be getting, they be a little flimsy. You know, the dude is like a little buff, but he a little flimsy at the same time. You got to go in there with that straight persona if you're straight. But but he might be on both sides of the field, right? And he just didn't want to go there with Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry forced him that way, and now he feeling some tight way because he might ain't got no more roles for him. I don't know. But I think these jokers that they be picking, they be on the fence. It's just that they might not want to go there with these certain people. They get them in the rooms and it's like, oh, they go home from a job. Hold up, man. Y'all do anything for the damn job. Y'all gotta take it easy out there, man. This shit's wild. Yeah, shit wild, man. Tyler Perry going too far, man. And I think if more people keep coming out, it's gonna be bigger than we think. You know, right now you got people saying stuff. That's the start. But if more people come out, it's gonna be bigger than we think. You know, especially if they saying he was forcing them to do certain things. You know, abusing your power. That's one thing that will get you. If you got position out here and you use the position to do things like that right there, it's going to bite you. Especially when people start accusing you of the stuff. That shit going to bite you. And that's what it's looking like with Tyler Perry. You know, he felt like he got so much money that everybody going to do what he say. And that is something that people think when they got money, they can influence people to do whatever, and there's never no repercussion. A lot of time, you know, it come back and get you later. It come back and get you later, man. Yeah. Definitely go down in the industry. It definitely go down in the industry, man. It's out of control, man. He said they be ready to spread that booty hole for a little role in the movie. This shit crazy, man. This shit is crazy. Yeah, they getting out of control, man. They gotta relax. They gotta relax. Let me see. Hit that like button, though. Hit that subscribe button. They gotta relax. They gotta relax. Yeah. They gotta relax, man. Let me see. Let me see here, man. Let's see here, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. Let's see here. You know, Karlissa off the hook. And you know Karlissa is off the easy. Yeah, she's off the easy, man. Let's see what Karlissa was talking about. You know, she's certified. And they said she's mad about Blueface Club Shay interview. You know, Blueface was talking about her. You know, he put it out there. Hold up. Hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button. You know, shout out to all y'all that rock with SBGB TV, man. Let me see here. Let's see what Blueface mom had to say about his interview with Club Shay.
Club Shay.
I can't believe my son went on Shay and he know how much I love Shay. Talking about I want to be his, I'm sabotaging his, he just meeting him. If you just meeting him, ain't nobody supposed to know. Nobody. Okay? And you guys have to remember, I grew up in Los Angeles, California, around nothing but Los Angeles got the best gold diggers on this motherfucking planet. So all my friends and people that I know, they know how to scam. They know how to get your last dollar. I done seen them take Shaq to the bank. I done seen them take Jodeci to the bank. I know how these women do out here.
So if these are all the people that you associate with, what makes you any different? If we being real.
I know. So it's my job to protect my kids from being around people that's real thirsty. Like, you know what I'm talking about, when them bitches come over your house and as soon as they walk in, they say, can they have something to drink? Oh, you didn't get nothing to drink before you came over here? You take them outside to the water holes. Certain ones, the water holes out there, you know how your grandma used to do. Your grandma didn't let everybody in her house get no water in the house. My grandma had some of my friends drink out that water hose in the front yard. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all be playing with me too much on this internet, and I don't give a. As you can see, I'm not going anywhere. Oh, she obsessed with her son. When you say that shit, I laugh my ass off, okay? Like, that's not finna scare me. That's not finna make me stop trolling. That's not finna make me... And he lied, and he know he exaggerated. I don't get into it with all your girlfriends. I don't call all your girlfriends. They call me.
You lying
I don't
down.
call them. They call me. And then they be like, I want to be his girlfriend. He want to be my boyfriend. And I be like, no. Your mama's a kid. Your daddy's a dealer. You a scammer. You a gold digger. Like, I can smell that shit. I'm not finna sit here and be like, oh, hi, she's a nice girl. If I see you with her once, okay, hi. If I see you with her twice, I'm like, oh, shit. Because I know these women, they do these little trap things, these little voodoo things, these spaghetti things. Women is out here, they out here like robbing banks on these. Like, I'm telling you, I got some friends I don't watch take people to the bank. You're not gonna do that to one of my kids on my watch. Now, if you pussy whip them and they pussy whip, they pussy whip. I'm not pussy whip, okay? If they went over there and they thought they was gonna whoop that pussy and they got whooped, I'm still gonna tell them. I tried to tell him about number 2, and he didn't want to listen. Now you done got your ass, you done got your mama ass, your sister ass. And we all fighting for you over here. Because we already know what it do. Because we women. We already know you done got pussy whipped. Somebody done played with your little and now you over there acting like you don't know what the going on. But we are scheduled as mothers and as women to protect you. I don't get into it with your lady friends. Then on the club, Shay, you gonna get on that motherfucker, tell them that all the women in the room, I ran into her. If that's your lady, she should not be jumping over no motherfucking gate, and then we get into it, and then a week later, it say bookings in her bio. You don't think for a minute that she allegedly, she might have ran game because she might be about to run in the Krishan footsteps, because everything that I'm seeing is a pattern of what Krishan already did. So maybe your lady friend came and jumped over the rope on purpose, fell into your mama to get it cracking, because she already know I'm not about to let none of these people touch me. My son got banger homies. Don't touch me. Don't say hi to me. Don't hug me. Don't look at me. I can smell that bullshit on you. I can smell my son's friends, the up in the head that don't got no respect for him or me. I can smell when people coming around because they want something. That's my job. I'm a woman. So I son, one day you gonna learn, because your daughter gonna teach you too. Your kids gonna teach you too. And you say you gonna be over there buddy with the kid to help him get off the. But I know you talking a good talk. Ain't nobody about to sit there and watch their daughter go down the road with no junkie. You either gonna pay him to get away from her, give him a whole bunch of so he don't come back. Like, it's things that we're gonna do before we just try to be his friend and help him get off the. I'm not fucking doing that. I don't care how you tried to play it on Shay. I ain't doing that shit. Now, if she pull up and he a kid and I smell on him, I'ma do the call. Hootie-hoo! Okay? We're not about to do all that. I'm sorry. I ain't got no mother time to sit there and help nobody else's kid get off the to prevent her from falling out of love. I will get up and move Journey to Africa before I try to get a motherfucker up off. Y'all see where I'm coming from? I will get him up off. I will get up and move just like I got up and moved your ass from the hood and moved you over there to the nice girls. You say you like the Valley girls? Now imagine if I'd have left you over there with them hood bitches. You'd have had 12 baby mamas, 10 babies. Hello, let's be real about the statistics down there. Okay? I'm doing things to protect you. You're going to do things to protect her. You can get on this internet and act like you the father of the year if you want to. If Journey come home talking about she in love with a kid, we getting motherfucking passes to Dubai and we gonna go stay for 6 months till she fall the fuck out of love. And that's how we gonna fix that. Let they mama and they daddy fix their problem. I got too many grandkids to be running around here adding more to the fucking list. Okay, so that's my plan. You do your plan and I'll do mine. I'll kidnap her and take her to Africa, Dubai, or some guy.
She talk a lot of stuff though. That's all. You know, you can't control everything. You know, she thinks that she can control everything. It's some things that you can't do anything about. You know, you lived your life and you made a lot of mistakes, and we can see that she's, you know, I guess understanding the mistakes she's made, but you can't make everybody see everything your way, and I think she needs to understand that though.
Goddamn where, and let her find a king, a king. Well, no, hanging out with the kids until they get off. Now, what would happen if the damn man don't get off? Girl, I'm telling you.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
You speak like she doesn't have a mother. Her mother is going to do what the fuck I say do if Journey bring her kid home. She's not going down there with John to enlist nobody in the motherfucking rehab for her daughter. Okay? We're going to get on that airplane together and we're going to disappear with our baby for 6 fucking months and she'll be out of love with the kid. Just like that. Now, if he wants to go and get the man some help on his time after we leave, that's his business. Okay? But anyway, don't get on here telling these people, oh, I'm reaching out to your lady friends and doing this for my show and doing that for my show. You said Angela could get on the show. She wanted to get on the show. Okay? And then she was about to get on your daddy's show too, that he was about to come up with. So don't get on here like, oh, my mama this. She was up over there with your daddy getting ready to do a show with him too. Stop playing fucking games with my name.
You playing games with your own name though. You know, at this point now, you done adapted to this ghetto behavior, and it's like you done acted your way into this permanently being you. You know, you like the attention, so you put this ghetto role on that is you all the time now.
That's all I'm asking you to do. I don't play games with your name, son. I get on this internet and I support you. Even if I want to flick you like a fly that day, I still get on here and I still support you, and I still respect you. I love you for who you are. I can't stand you for some of the bullshit how you think, but that's your way of thinking. Okay, my way of thinking is if a bitch get on my nerves, that I'm not fixing to do 2 years to figure it out. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, when do you understand that your son is 28 years old and you don't have to monitor everything he does? He's an adult. Live your life. Worry about the things that you want to do. You can't control what he do. Obviously he's doing it his way, but you do insert yourself inside of his business with the women that he deal with. You do to that.
It ain't gonna take me 2 years to figure out that this shit about to get me fucked up, okay? I love them all dearly. I really do. And they know that. I love them all equally. I do. They all need help in different ways. So you've been supporting him from day one. And I'll support him until the end. I'll support him. I will leave here supporting him. Okay. I will leave here talking to God like, Lord, I know he a little sideways. I will leave here begging for all of them, okay? No matter how they treat me or how they talk crazy about me. When you bring home somebody that I approve of, I will have a totally different energy. Jada and I have been together since she was 13 years old. We have had one argument.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this, right? As an adult, if you involve your parent into every relationship, they never gonna be good. It's not about who your parent approves of. That ain't what it's about. It's about who you approve of. You don't concern with them. And that is a big mistake with a lot of people that involve their parent into their relationship looking for approval. Your parent is always going to find something wrong with somebody. You know, some parents be jealous, like we see with her, about the child dealing with somebody else and they getting all the attention. So, you know, you gotta relax, man. You really gotta relax, Karlissa.
That resulted in me throwing some food that I made for her on the goddamn floor because she called me a liar. And I see her as my daughter. And if y'all know from the 70s, you don't get up and call your mama, your mama-in-law, your auntie. You don't look them in their face and call them no motherfucking liar, knowing that you lying. So yes, I threw the food on the goddamn floor and walked away because she knew that I was not lying. Now, she was pregnant and she was mad. She was taking some stuff out on me that my son do. They do that. These women, they take it out on me because they befriend me and they expect for me to have all the answers, and I don't. I don't have all the answers of why they do this or why they do that stuff shit they do that they daddies do, okay? It ain't just my kid. It's somebody else's kid, too. You see where I'm coming from?
No.
But you can't sit here and say, I sabotage all your relationships, knowing how close me and Jaden was. More than she been living, okay? I've been with her. And you gonna sit up here, I sabotage y'all, or I gave her my last piece of chicken. You see what I'm saying? I didn't want you to have no girlfriend. Oh, but Jaden over my house every fucking day of her life. Eating my last piece of chicken, but I don't want you to have no girlfriend. Please, please, please. I be trying to save you. Now, y'all know if a girl walk up all of a sudden, she talking about she love him, and she love him, and she writing his name or drawing his name on her face, and she doing that shit in less than, ain't even known this in 3 months, you gonna be scared for your kid too. Like, this bitch is ziggity fucking boo. And here we go. Like, come on, y'all playing games with me. I hope all y'all got sons And I hope they all find some of these women out here that y'all keep on saying that I'm trying to sabotage. Yes, you might think my son is a piece of shit, but I think he's an amazing human being with several different qualities that he does not get to share with you guys. And I want the best for them. I want the best for them, whether the woman is fat, tall, short, skinny, ugly, light, dark, as long as she got a good spirit and a good understanding. I want them to get married and have wives and have a good life.
Well, obviously, Blueface isn't looking at things the way you are. He wants to deal with multiple women. He wants to have fun. He has a roster. You know, your mind state isn't aligned with what he's doing. So you really got to relax and let him do him, man. He's a grown man. It's like you shouldn't even be that invested in it at all because he's going to go against what you say anyway. We all know that's how it go.
Okay? That's what I want for them. But do I want for them to be running around here with people trying to put, even though I know she can't put no spell on my son, I don't even want them running around getting tied up, what you call them things when they having them trauma bonds or whatever with these people that need help. Some of these people look like they need to be getting some help in the place. Okay? You don't want your kids doing that. So yes, if it looks like I'm sabotaging a motherfucker, if a bitch get on here and tell you that she don't believe in Jesus Christ, but she got some good, she tattooing your name in a couple of months, she ain't even your main, she done put your name, like that's a red flag. I'm trying to help you. And then she gonna bump into me and 2,000 people in the club. And I don't have nothing against her at all. I really don't have nothing against Nevaeh. She's probably the sweetest piece of pie. But do y'all really think that somebody's mama gonna want that for their kid 6 months from now? I know how women act. I told y'all I grew up in LA. They pretend like they like this so much and they love them so much, and then they put up with this and then they put up with that, and then right when they get mad, they strike. And if a bitch don't believe in Jesus, that strike might take you out. If a woman play like she believe in Jesus, that strike might take you out. You know why? Because she love you more than she love God, which means she love you more than she love herself, which means that's going to be dangerous for you. You got to remember, I am a woman who grew up in LA around nothing but the best. I'm talking about the best top-notch gold diggers. Ask any one of these celebrity men about these LA women. Okay? I'm talking about I done seen the best of the best go home without they. What you got them for? I'm gonna bury that shit in the backyard. What that's gonna do? You will see.
Karlissa, you gotta relax. You really gotta relax, baby. You know, Blueface gonna do what he want, regardless of what you say. You know, and we know you come from around the gold diggers because you're one of them too. You was out there playing as well. Yeah. So this is why you're able to identify. But we can see the type of women Blueface is choosing. He don't know what they are. He just looking for something to smash. You know, and he starting to like them and keep them around. He got this one, that one. And trust and believe they all are thinking about what they can get out of him. Like, come on, man. You at the point where your money is coming in and everybody know you. It's going to be different meeting women. His mom act like, you know, he's a regular guy working at a store somewhere and he's meeting women. No, every woman that meets him knows that he's Blueface and that he's famous. So it's like, come on, man. It's a different ball game now. They dealing with him for a certain reason. It ain't like, oh, they just want to know his favorite color and his backstory. No, they dealing with him because who he is. Come on now. So you can't save him. And he's loving the attention. He's loving to be able to shop at different stores. So he gonna continue to go to different stores and have fun. He gonna have to get some bad candy along the way. It's how I go. It's do you learn? And you trying to identify what candy to pick out doesn't work. Don't want to hear that. This what she got to learn though. You don't want to hear that. You trying to identify, should he get this candy, that candy, no, put that candy back. He 28. He going to pick up the candy that he want and he going to eat the candy that he want regardless of what you say, Karlissa. So you really got to relax, baby. And let him be a grown adult. Let him be a grown adult. There's nothing you can do about it. That's all. It's going to be what it's going to be, man. And you can't change it. If it's Nevaeh, Angela, Sherry, Cindy, whoever it is, it's going to be who it's going to be. Yeah, he ain't sleeping with you. Damn, you act like he with you. You too invested. And maybe she thinks that if she stirs up the relationships with everybody he deal with, it's going to mess it up. It's going to be a turbulence in there where he don't keep them. She think if she sit back and let him do him, that he might pick the wrong one. He going to pick the wrong one regardless, man. Right now, he's thinking with his Johnson. So he's going to pick the wrong one. They're dealing with him just because. Think about that though, right? If the woman is okay with not seeing him, it ain't even like they got a relationship together, where he got two women and they together. The women have to be cool with, all right, I'm with him on this day. He with her on that day. He called me when he called me. It's like whenever he ready at his leisure. What you think? What type of women you think he gonna get, Karlissa? He's gonna get those type of women. I don't know what she's thinking about. If he's gonna get something special from the way he's choosing them. Negative. He's gonna get what he gonna get. It's gonna be a gold digger. It's gonna be somebody that wants some money. Yeah. She gotta go through the obstacles of being the second joint. She gotta go down the list. She might be the third this week. She might be the second. She might be the first. So I don't think you're gonna get anything else but a gold digger when it's that type of game that she has to play to get position. If we being real. Because she got to play a game. They all playing a game to get position. And they all fighting for position. So it's a goal. It ain't even about love. Ain't no love in there. Ain't no love in there. It's a position. Yeah. And then once somebody conquers the position, all right, I reached the goal. Now I can show my ass. Hey, watch. Watch, that's how I go. Once one of the girls conquer the position and Blueface might lock in with him, we gonna see it's toxic. Now she gonna be thinking about she had to fight to get here. I had to go through this girl, that girl, just to get to the position. And you still want to play? Like, come on, man. Man, listen. Man, I don't know what's going on with Karlissa, but she was out there. She should know. Like, come on. The way your son is going about getting the women, those are the results he's going to get from how he's trying to get the women. He ain't going to get a perfect result from how he trying to get the women. Like, hold up. Like, you going to get somebody that's in love with you for you when you got 6, 7, 8, 9 women competing. Like, come on, man. It's a game. Like, stop it. Karlissa, you gotta relax. Stop it. For real. You know. So it is what it is, man. Smash that like button and hit that subscribe button, man. You know, I appreciate all of y'all that be rocking with SBGB TV. If you haven't already subscribed to SBGB TV Worldwide, make sure you go subscribe to that channel as well. Follow us on the Spotify, Instagram. Everything is SBGB TV, TikTok, Facebook. Everything is SBGB TV. I appreciate y'all, man. Go check out the merch, sbgbtv.com. If you want us to promote anything for you, email me, sbgbtv@gmail.com. I appreciate everybody that rock with SBGB TV. And that's a fact. Hit the like button. If you haven't hit the like button, yeah. And, we'll be back at it later, man. Yeah. Got a little job to do. I got to get up. I'm going to go to sleep for a little while. Then I got a little job I got to get up and do. And then we're going to be back at it again. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, man, this thing don't stop. This thing don't stop at all, man. We putting that work in. You know what I'm saying? We putting that work in. Yeah. We grind hard in the paint. And that's a fact. But I appreciate y'all, man. I'm getting hungry again. Get me something to eat and lay down. And then get up, do this job, and be back at it. But I appreciate y'all, man. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. All that good stuff, man. You a member of the channel, man. Put a 1 in the chat. We can shout you out. Shout out to everybody that rock with SBGB TV. And that's a fact. Hit that like button too, man. Yeah. Good day though. We got the lives in. We got the lives in. Yes, we did. You know what I mean? We got them in. Yeah. Straight up. Most definitely got to get that grind though. Yeah. That's a fact. C. Brown, LaPortia. We gotta get the grind in. Y'all know what it is, man. We working. Facts. Yeah. It was a good live though. You know what I'm saying? Good live. I like when we have a good dialogue. Facts. Jam Meeks. Yeah. I mean, shout out to all of y'all, man, that rock with SBGB TV. Yeah. So make sure y'all subscribe to the other channel as well. All that. And we be back at it later, man. I appreciate all of y'all that rock with SBGB TV. And that's a fact, man. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. It's your boy DEEZY. Y'all know what it is. Stay sucker free. Keep the haters away from you. Keep your circle tight. And stay focused. Y'all know what it is, man. It's not about the setback. It's about the get back. Nah.